Hey everybody, Artist Caleb here, back again with more 39 Steps. It's time to do some catch-up, third-class citizen. And I don't mean the type of ketchup that you put on your sandwich either. Time to get some videos done. Sunday, 24th May, 1914, Wimpole Street, London. Wait for it. Wait for it. You know what this street needs? A milk cart. Whoosh. Amazing. Oh, maybe I should get some pants on first.
Now let me see. I put my pants around here somewhere. I know I did. It's got to be here. Sounds like the milkman could be here any minute.
God blimey!
Come in here a moment. I want a word with you.
Yes, sir?
He was a young man, about my own height, with an ill-nourished mustache, and wearing a flat blue cap and white overalls.
I reckon you're a bit of a sportsman, and I want you to do me a service. Lend me your cap and overall for 10 minutes, and here's a sovereign for you.
His eyes opened at the sight of gold, and he grinned broadly. This would probably be the third time today this happened to him.
What's the game?
A bet. I haven't time to explain, but to win it, I've got to be a milkman for the next 10 minutes, and all you've got to do is to stay here till I come back. You'll be a bit late, but nobody will complain, and you'll have that quid for yourself.
Right. I ain't the man to spoil a bit of sport. Here's the rig, governor.
This part seems a bit awkward. Wearing his hat and overalls, I went whistling downstairs. At first I thought there was nobody in the street. Then I caught sight of a policeman 100 yards down, and a loafer shuffling past on the other side. What, like a loaf of bread? I crossed the street in character, whistling gaily and imitating the jaunty swing of the milkman. Some impulse made me raise my eyes to the house opposite, and there at a first-floor window was a face. I don't know, I just saw something like this in my head. As the loafer passed, he looked up, and I fancied a signal was exchanged. Probably something like, "Caw-caw, caw-caw," or something. Anyway, then I took the first side street. There was no one in the alleyway, except Oscar the Grouch, so I dropped the milk cans inside the hoarding and sent the cap and overall after them. I had only just put on my cloth cap when a postman came round the corner. I gave him good morning. He answered me unsuspiciously. "Morning. Good morning. Morning, Bob. Morning, Phil. Would you like to have this good morning? I'll give it to you." Then I took to my heels and ran. I really wish I hadn't worn high heels today. Actually, I've got to say, this music here, this is brilliant. This is amazing music. I had no time to take a ticket. The porter told me the platform. I saw the train already in motion. 2 station officials blocked the way. I dodged them and clambered into the last carriage. I had made it.
Is this the train going to Hogwarts?
3 minutes later, an irate guard interviewed me. He wrote out for me a ticket to Newton Stewart, a name which had suddenly come back into my memory. Fig Newton, Jimmy Stewart, it's all coming together now. Then he conducted me from the first-class compartment to a third-class smoker. Don't be a third-class smoker. Be a first-class smoker with cool menthol. The compartment was occupied by a sailor and a stout woman with a child. The child was smoking a pipe, which was rather dignified, I felt. All right, let's do some reading. What do you say? Hats and gowns. It's pretty nice. Mapping and web, fitted traveling cases for all your 5,000 brushes. Can never have too many brushes. Obesity can be reduced without drugs or starvation. All you need are tapeworms. I'm digging that hat. Doggone. They sure knew hats back then, didn't they? Empire Day. Yesterday's parade of 6,000 in Hyde Park. That's near Jekyll Park. Let's see here. The annual Empire Day parade took place yesterday afternoon. Prevented any Lord Roberts, who promised in his administer a parade, was under the patronage of Prince Alexander. Let's see. Prince had Prince Albert in a can. Let's see. Is your refrigerator running? If it is, you might want to stop it before it gets too far. Okay. So that was The Observer, Sunday, May 24th, 1914. Wow. Cool thing about this game, you can actually go through and read that stuff.
It's a sailed job catching trains.
Aye, the impudence of that Geared. He needed a Scotch tongue to put him in his place. He was complaining in this way and no haying a ticket and her no favour till August 12 month.
What?
And he was objecting to this gentleman spitting.
I had a solemn time traveling north that day. I had used the terms, huh? And what? About 5 trillion times on the way. I asked myself why, when I was still a free man, had I stayed on in London and not got the good of this heavenly country. In Liverpool I learned the way of the scouse. Alright, calm down, calm down. Then I got out Scudder's little pocketbook and studied it. I say, it's full of phone numbers. First we gotta figure out how to get into this thing. Books were more complicated back then. Oh, hey, wait a minute. All it says is... Doesn't make any sense at all. Scudder was completely illiterate. All right. The writings. I was certain that Scudder never did anything without a reason, and I was pretty sure that there was a cipher in all this. I have a head for things like chess and puzzles, and I used to reckon myself pretty good at finding out ciphers. These sets of figures looked like they corresponded to letters of the alphabet. Well, sure, there's like C's and X's and V's and I's and L's. Those are all letters of the alphabet. Count numbers from Sesame Street taught me how to crack codes with Roman numerals. The keyword. I tried for hours, but none of the words answered. Do you like maps? I just love maps. I don't know why, but I'm just crazy about maps. I woke up at Dumfries and was absolutely dumbfounded, just in time to bundle out into the crowded platform. There was a young man on the platform whose looks I didn't like, but he never glanced at me. I caught sight of myself in the mirror of an automatic machine. With my brown face, my old tweeds, and my slouch, I was the very model of a modern Major General. I've information, vegetable, animal, and mineral. I mean, I was the very model of one of the hill farmers. who were now crowding into the third-class carriages. I boarded the Galloway train, travelling with half a dozen in an atmosphere of shag and clay pipes. Shag and clay pipes. They're cobs. Shag, shag, shag. They had come from the weekly market, and the mouths were full of prices. Sounds like their mouths are full of local anesthetics as well. Conversation. I heard accounts of how the lambing had gone up the Cairn and the Deutsch, and a dozen other mysterious waters. When you're worried and you can't sleep, try counting Cairn and Deutsch instead of sheep, and you'll fall asleep. Passengers. Above half the men were lunched heavily and were highly flavored with whiskey, but they took no notice of me. That's how I always go to work. Heavily lunched and highly flavored with whiskey. About 5 o'clock, the carriage had emptied, and I was left alone, as I had hoped. Finally! I got out at the next station. It reminded me of one of those forgotten little stations in the Karoo. The Karoo? As in, like, Pirates of the Caribbean? An old station master with his spade over his shoulder sauntered to the train, took charge of a parcel, and went back to his potatoes. Potatoes? But I thought they grew whiskey in Scotland. While a child of 10 received my ticket. There you go, kid. Hit the rails. The world is your oyster. It's an open road. Adventure awaits. But I took the road less traveled by. The path, I mean. Onwards! Oh man, look at this. Wouldn't you just love to be here? Or maybe you are here, I don't know, but it's like my dream. I would do this in a heartbeat, in a second. It would make me the happiest in the world. I would love this. I was getting very hungry when I eventually came to a herd's cottage. A brown-faced woman greeted me with the kindly shyness of moorland places. When I asked for a night's lodging, she said that I was welcome to the bed in the loft, and very soon she set before me a hearty meal of ham and eggs, scones and thick sweet milk. Oh, that I might have lived in that time. At the darkening, her man came in from the hills, a lean giant who in one step covered as much ground as 3 places of ordinary mortals. I'm a big friendly giant, but BFG means other things too, you know. They asked me no questions, for they had the perfect breeding of all dwellers in the wilds. But I could see they set me down as a kind of dealer. I took some trouble to confirm their view. All right, place your bets. It's a $3 to $5 no-limit hold'em, flip 'em wild turkey with the little queen thing. I don't know how to poker, okay? They refused any payment, and by 6 the next morning, I had breakfasted and was striding southwards again. Wah! Sploosh! All the slackness of the past months was slipping from my bones, and I stepped out like a 4-year-old. I threw a tantrum and wet myself. My notion was to return to the railway line, a station or 2 farther on than the place where I had alighted yesterday, and to double back. Mos Eisley Space Station. You will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. I waited till I saw the smoke of an east-going train on the horizon. Oh, you gotta be stealthy. Just up and down quick. Take a quick look, back down. Like a turkey. Quick look, back down. Looks like we're safe. Then I approached the booking office and took a ticket for Dumfries. And that, ladies and gents, is it for right now. I've got some more stuff on the way. I am so terribly sorry for being gone for so long, but got some more stuff, including some abductions. So stick around, and I'll see you later.